Alright. Well, hi Ryan. It's Dad. Uh, well, I'm the other person that helped make you, I guess. It's kind of weird talking to you whenever you're not in front of me, or if I'm not talking to Hillary's stomach. But, at any rate, I figured I'd make you this little video so that way you can get used to the sound of my voice before you're born. I mean, of course I still have all your life in order for you to hear my voice and probably be annoyed by it. But, figured you'd get used to it. So that way you can come out and be like, hey, who's this guy? This random ass dude's just trying to talk to me or something. But no. So I'm happy to have you, son. Still weird to call you that. I'm definitely not used to being a dad yet. Well, we got your room almost set up. You can kind of see it behind me. Not that you can see this anyway. Can't really see nothing. But people who end up watching this, or Hillary, if she ends up watching this, can see it. Got your stuff in your crib. Got your bassinet ready, as long as we can keep the cats out of it. Got everything kind of ready for you. Just got to put the car seat in the car. That's something that we got to do on the 4th, I think. And I think that's sometime next week, if I remember right. Take a look at the calendar here. Yeah, next Tuesday. Yeah, next Tuesday I'll be going over to Pittsburgh. Get you checked up. Get to see what you're looking like. Well, maybe not what you're looking like, but see how Hillary and you are doing. And then, I think I just saw Tiny. Yep, there's Tiny. Yep, Tiny is being adorable. And sounds like a train back there. Oh well, you'll get used to that sound too. Hi, Tiny. 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 Hi, Tiny. Come here. Oh, hi. Hi, Tiny. Yeah. Well, come here. You can come up here. You can say, oh, you can say hi to Ryan too. Yeah. Just being all kinds of adorable now, aren't you? You're gonna have to get used to Ryan too, Tiny. You, Lucifer, and Stormy. Got all the furry house companions there, Ryan. I'm sure the cats probably won't like you at first. They'll probably be super jealous of you. But, they'll get used to you. And you'll get used to them, and you'll be wondering, like, what's life like? You wouldn't even know what life would be like without all the cats. They've been there since day one for you. I had some cats whenever I was growing up on Chest Street, and I don't remember what their names were. I don't know if they had names. I just called them Cat. Yeah, you're adorable, Tiny. Whoa, careful now. Don't be flopping onto the floor, Tiny. That's not a good idea. But yeah, great to have you, Ryan. It's going to be real interesting for me, I guess. Definitely going to be interesting for your mom. Your Uncle Josh's birthday is next week, I just realized. Let's see, yeah, next week. Uncle Josh's birthday. That's weird to say, Uncle Josh, but, yep, there it is. Your Aunt Heather, her birthday isn't until March, so that's a while away. But, and she's gonna be all over you, Ryan, and I'm just gonna prepare you for that right now. Her and Aunt Lorraine, all over you. Hi, Tiny. Yeah. You wanna say something to Ryan? No. He's gonna sniff my nose. Okay. You can sniff my nose. Yeah. But, let's see. Let's try to talk about some of your family members who you got. Of course, you got me, your dad. You got your mom, Hillary. Well, Grandma just died, unfortunately. But she loved you, Ryan, and she looked forward to you coming. And she loved you very much, even though you never got to meet her. And that's something I want to make clear to you. Is that Mom loved you very much. Well, your grandma. Grandma Bodie. Grandpa Bodie's around, though. He's gonna love you a lot. He's probably gonna end up spoiling you and teaching you bad habits, too, knowing him. Lord knows what he taught me growing up. But, Yeah, probably teach you to be a smartass. Although I'd probably do that more myself. But at any rate, so you got Grandpa Bodie. You got great grandma. Great grandma. She's alive on mom's side, you know. I mean, you get to meet her. I'm sure she'd love to meet you. Let's see. What other family members you got? You got Aunt Heather, Uncle Josh. I guess you got Aunt Victoria. I know Josh and Victoria, you know, they're together. I don't know if you'd want you calling her aunt or not. You might have to be careful about that one. But you know, she's there too. Let's see, who else? Aunt Heather, I already mentioned. No, I guess we got your mom's side of the family. We got Grandma Susan. I think she wants you to call her Nana. I guess that's a her side of the family thing. You can do what you want with that. You can call her Nana if you want. Uh, then you got Aunt Lorraine, Aunt Jessica, and I guess from there you technically have cousins. Yeah, Jessica has kids. So, you know, you got some really older cousins. Some of them are probably gonna want to babysit you. I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it. I'm probably gonna be scared to have anybody babysit you, to be honest. But I know I can't be with you all the time, 24/7, as much as I would love to be. But at any rate, I'm just trying to get you used to the sound of my voice right now. Tiny, you want to say anything? Me? No. Tiny doesn't want to say anything. Okay. Tiny doesn't want to talk to you. She'll probably talk to you plenty once you get old enough to figure out how to feed her. That's funny. Anyway, Stormy would actually be the one you'd have to worry about. I'm afraid Stormy's gonna be jealous of you. She's gonna be like, human, why don't you pay attention to me? Why are you paying attention to the tiny human? Yeah. At any rate, Tiny went away. Tiny's is doing tiny things now, which is fine. Uh, let's see. You got your Aunt Lorraine. Aunt Lorraine's an interesting character. She helps keep an eye on the house a lot. You'll probably see her babysit you quite a bit. Her and Aunt Heather will probably end up fighting to babysit you. And you got your Aunt Jessica, who already has cousins. Your cousins, I guess. You know, even though they're much older than you, but they're still your cousins nonetheless. Let's see. That's Kaya. She's the oldest. She's about 18, I think, at this point. And you got Kale, who I think is about 15, and Jasmine, who I think is about 13 now, I think. I don't know. Could be wrong. I'd have to ask Jessica. But you know, they'll be babysitting you sometimes, I guess. I know Kaya wants to. Let's see. You got your Uncle Benjamin. Forgot about Ben. How can I forget about Ben? Ben's cool. Ben is a kooky guy, but he loves you. He's a great guy to be around. You know, you just kind of have to get used to him. He has an odd sense of humor. But if you inherit my sense of humor, then you'll probably think he's funny too. So that's something I wonder about what you're going to be like. You know, what kind of traits you're gonna have. Because you know, because I think Hillary and I talked about this, like what your hair color might be. Because I have brown hair naturally. Hillary has blonde hair naturally. And I know on, yeah, we do not shut down. Okay. So, you know, and your Nana's blonde. Your mom's blonde. So, you know, it's possible you could be blonde. It's also possible, very unlikely, that you could have red hair like your grandpa. Might have a red... I almost said redhead stepchild. No, redheaded kid. And, you know, I'd be fine with you. Whatever you look like, it's fine. You could be polka dotted. You could be, you know, purple. You know, I wouldn't care. I'd still love you nonetheless. You could be lime green. Hell, even pea soup green. I don't like pea soup. Nor do I like the color pea soup. But if you were pea soup, I'd still love you nonetheless. Let's see. So you could have red hair, brown hair, or blonde. Got a black hair though. I think your grandma Bodhi had some black hair. Or is it maybe it was dark brown, kind of like mine. I don't know. But brown's the dominant trait. So more than likely you'll end up with brown hair. But who knows? It's entirely possible. Or it could be strawberry blonde. Or you could just be something completely different and just totally unexpected, you know. I mean, anything's possible. Let's see. Well, we know you're a boy. So we got that kind of stuff taken care of. I don't know how big you're gonna be. You might be tall. You might be as tall as me someday. Might be taller than me someday. Hope not, but you never know. I guess men on Hillary's side, on your mom's side of the family, they tend to get bigger, tend to get taller. Hi, Tiny. Where'd you go? What you doing? Tiny likes to meow whenever she has a toy. You'll get used to that. Yeah, I know. You have a toy, Tiny. Yeah, and I don't know. It's not like you can understand anything I'm telling you anyway. You're just listening to the sound of my voice. Probably going up and that was a bad voice crack. Going up and down, up and down. Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll get used to this voice. Might do more of these. You know, just getting used to how things are. Like I said, I really wish you could meet your Grandma Bodhi, but it just didn't happen. And you'll learn that in life eventually, son, that, you know, stuff happens. And it's nobody's fault. It just is what it is. That's how life is. And you're gonna realize that... Is it storming out there right now? Well, sound like life, I guess. Sometimes there's storms, sometimes there's clear days. You know, good days, bad days. Then there's really bad days. You know, and it's just life, son. It's stuff that will happen. I hope I get to teach you all this stuff and more as I grow in life and as you grow in life. Yeah, I got some storms coming up. I don't know if you're going to be scared of storms. You probably will be. I was scared of storms when I was young, when I was a kid. So you might be too. You know, it's just loud noises. And I'm not a big fan of loud noises. You may not be either. But, you know, it's something you'll learn in time. You know, you'll learn how the world works, how the air environment works, you know. Eventually you'll learn to cry and try to get people's attention by crying and scratching people with your nails, I guess, because apparently baby nails are sharp or something. I don't know. But be little and adorable. Got your own room. Got your crib for you. Got you lots of clothes. Quite a few diapers. Some toys. Sorry I get that car seat put in there, but that's not until we get to Pittsburgh. Excuse me. And that reminds me, I need to buy another car seat base for you. So that way we can have that in both of our cars. So that way I'm not having to uninstall it and then reinstall it. And then, yeah, it's just a giant hassle. We can just buy 2 bases and then you can just clip them in each and it'll save you some time. Right. Let's see. The world itself, son, it's very vast. It's large. It's beyond beyond your imagination, beyond any person's imagination. You know, I can't say I'm really well traveled. I've never traveled outside of the country, but I mean I've traveled to each ocean in the country. You know, and I hope someday, if I ever save enough money, we can, whenever you get older, to appreciate those things more. You know, we can go on vacations, travel around the country, get to see things. You know, it kind of helps develop you as a person. You know, to know different cultures and know different, you know, places and stuff. It helps you become more worldly. Helps you become more of a person, if that makes sense. Which, you know, it's whatever. Yeah, Tiny, I know, you have a toy. At any rate, son, I love you very much. I can't express that enough. There's no way to express that enough. And I know that you're going to be a great young man when you grow up, and I get to be an old man, and you're probably going to give me shit for being an old man, because I gave your grandpa shit for being an old man, and you're going to give him shit for being an old man, and you're probably just going to inherit my sense of humor and just be the sassiest mofo that any person's ever seen. And you know what? I'm not going to lie. That's probably going to piss me off a lot because I know that it's basically my sass and stuff. Oh, hi, Tiny. Are you playing with a toy? I see you back there. You having fun? Tiny's having fun. She's playing with her toy. But, as I was saying, son, it's something that you'll experience. It's something that we'll experience together. You know, because I know, well, you won't probably figure this out till years later, like I did. But, you know, that parents kind of have to muddle through it. They don't just automatically know everything, and although you aren't born yet, I'm starting to realize that a lot. And then I'm thinking about my own childhood with my mom and dad, your grandma and grandpa, you know, as to how people get through life, you know. Parents muddle through it, and they make mistakes. And I'm going to make mistakes, and I know that. I don't want to admit that. I don't want to make mistakes, because I hate making mistakes. But it's important to make mistakes. And that's something I'm going to teach you as well, is that it's important to make mistakes. And I'm going to have you, or let you, make mistakes. Because making mistakes is the best way to learn. You'll eventually learn that, you know, stovetops are hot, because if you touch them, they're going to be hot and burn you. And then you'll realize, oh, hey, let's not touch that. That's hot. I'm not going to endanger you in any sort of fashion, but you'll eventually figure that out. You know, you'll eventually figure out that if you pet a cat wrong, then, you know, they're not going to like that, and then they might scratch you, and you're not going to like it. But you'll eventually learn how to pet animals correctly and stuff from that too. So it's kind of a weird struggle between not letting you come to harm, but also, you know, having you learn to be a person, you know. And that's kind of the thing, though, is that I have to, and that's the responsibility that I'm scared of, because, you know, I feel like sometimes I can hardly take care of myself, let alone taking care of a little person that, you know, can't do anything. And, well, that scares me to a degree. But I know that I'm gonna have to do it. It's not something I can just be like, nope, screw that, I'm not gonna do it. No, it's going to be done. I have to do it. And so since I have to do it, I will do it, and it will get done. It's just it's scary, I guess. But, you know, and once I imagine that once I see you, once you're born, once I hold you in my arms for the first time, I realize that things will be different. You know, you're going to be a person born into the world with all the good things that entails and all the bad things that entails. You know, lots of people say that the world's a bad place right now. You probably shouldn't be having children. But you know what? I mean, yeah, the world can be a bad place. It is a bad place. You know, bad stuff happens everywhere you go. That's just an unfortunate fact of life. But you have to realize, son, that there's also a lot of good in life too. And you have to take the good with the bad. And you have to realize that life is what you make it. You know, you can be like all pessimistic and see all the bad things going on, or you can be I almost said opportunistic. You can be optimistic. That's the word I'm looking for. You can be optimistic and look forward to your life. And that's kind of I'm kind of a realist. But if I were to be honest, I'm probably leaning more towards pessimistic. But I'm happy that you're coming. That's a great thing for me. I married your mom years ago. Actually, it'd be about 3 years, well, a little over 3 years ago now. I'm happy to have been here for as long as I have. You know, I'm 28 years old. You probably think that's real old, and then you'll realize that you come to be my age, and it's just like, no, your life's just starting. I feel old sometimes, especially with my job. And people... Tiny. Oh, there you are. She's over there playing with her toy. Sometimes I feel old with my back being as it is. I'm creaking everywhere, and yeah. It's not fun, but it's life, unfortunately. One thing that I do want to tell you, though, amongst the many things that I'm probably going to tell you, is to enjoy being a kid. When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was grow up, be an adult, so that way I don't have to listen to other adults tell me what to do, because I hate people telling me what to do. And I still hate people telling me what to do. But, I've come to realize that, hey, when you're a kid, you need people to tell you what to do, otherwise you're going to be a little shit that doesn't know what's going on. Just like how whenever I was a kid, I was a little shit that didn't know what was going on. But, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you learn, help you be a person, and not only just to be a person, but to also be a good person for society. Just be helpful in any way you can. Whatever that may be, whatever you choose to be. Hell, when I was a kid, I thought I wanted to be an astronaut. No, I'm not going to be an astronaut. It's not in the cards. I'm too tall, I'm too big, and I definitely don't have the mathematics and science training in order to be an astronaut. But maybe you could be an astronaut. You can have whatever kind of dreams you want. You can be a fireman, you can be a space, you can be an astronaut, you can be a secretary if you want to be a secretary. Whatever you choose to do, son, I'll support you. Excuse me. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. Well, that's a unfortunate thing about having my congestion, I suppose. Boy, that makes me wonder what happens when you're gonna get sick for the first time. I'm probably gonna freak the hell out. That's just 100% honest. I'm gonna freak the hell out. And I have that temperature, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, go to the hospital. And it turns out it's just like a cold or something, and then you get over it, and then it's just like, well, it's scary. I can definitely imagine it being scary. This is something I wish I could ask Mom about, but can't do that. I could probably ask Dad. He would know. Yeah. Yeah. I have a feeling that you and your grandpa are probably going to get along pretty well. Let's see. What was I talking about? Oh, dreams. Yeah. So, do what you want to do, son. If you want to be an electrician, be an electrician. If you want to be an astronaut, be an astronaut. If you want to be a teacher, be a teacher. Or something I'm not even completely even thinking of. Or some kind of future job that I can't even imagine that would be happening in 20... Damn, that thunder is really coming down. Something I can't even imagine in 2020, but, something that'll happen in 2040. That's a job that'll be a regular thing that I can't even imagine now, That'd be cool, too. Just do what you love, son. Do what makes you happy. If you want to draw, draw. Although, if you get my drawing ability, then you're not going to have much of a drawing ability. Sorry. I can't draw worth a lick, son. It's... Your mom can. Your mom can draw quite nicely. She's not like a master artist or anything, but I mean, it's a lot nicer than what I can do, I'll say that much. I can barely draw stick people. Well, let's see. Where else am I gonna go with this? You know, have you enjoy some music. Just trying to think of things that you would probably do. You know, have you enjoy music, you know, have you test out which kind of music you might like. If you get anything from your mom's side, you might end up liking death metal and stuff. I'm not really too into, like, super heavy metal. I mean, I like some heavy metal, I like some metal. It just depends on the artist, I guess. But, yeah. Your mom is definitely on the heavier side of that. But I like a little bit of everything, you know. Well, except country. I'm not a big fan of country. Although, according to your grandma, Bodie, she thought that well, she said that I was in the country when I was a little kid, but so maybe you might be. Who knows? You're not exactly going to be a little me. You're going to be a little me and a little Hillary. Ooh, I just realized that. A little Hillary, too. Yeah. Hillary says that her side of the family, she has a lot of attitude, and she's a baby of the family. Technically, right now, you're the baby of the family, but that's because you're the only kid right now. So you'll be the oldest if we have another kid. Which I want to get through at least a couple years, at least, before I even think about having another kid. You know, I mean, if it happens, it happens. You know, stuff happens. That's something you'll learn too, son, is that stuff happens. But, I really don't think... Are you having fun over there, Tiny? Yeah. You know, I might scoot over... Oh, wrong way. Scoot over the other way. So that way, if anybody's watching this... I don't know why anybody would be watching this. But if they are, they can see Tiny having fun and playing. And that's adorable. Let's see. Trying to teach you all kinds of lessons. And there's plenty that I can think of. I guess the most important lesson that I would probably have you learn, son, if you don't get anything else, it's the golden rule, son. Treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. Treat other people with kindness, they'll treat you with kindness. Usually. Golden rule doesn't work on everybody. Sometimes people are just jerks. Some people are fools. You know, it's life, unfortunately. But most of the time, if you treat people with kindness, they will treat you with kindness. If you treat people with respect, they will treat you with respect. And the opposite works as well. If you treat people badly, they'll treat you badly. So, just try to be nice to everybody. Try to be courteous. Have some respect. You don't have to like everybody, but try to be courteous and try to be nice, because that's the easiest way to kind of get through and get what you need to do. You know what I mean? Kind of hard to explain that, I guess, whenever you're not here. Yeah, you can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you, son. Yeah. Maybe you might inherit my love for funny t-shirts with sayings on them. Yeah. It's going to be interesting seeing what you're going to be like. What traits you're going to have. Hi, Tiny. No, Tiny, you can't have the pen. Yep. Can't have that. But, who knows what you're going to be like. I mean, you have some of my traits, some of my good ones, probably some of my bad ones. You have some of your mom's good traits, you know, like how kind she is, how to take charge of life, you know, that she is, her confidence. You might have some of her bad traits, you know, like her stubbornness and stuff, or have some of my bad traits, which is, you know, being a wise ass to everybody, or making inappropriate jokes, or other bad traits I have. Oh, or, you know, having a low self-esteem, or talking down about yourself, because that's something that I have a bad habit of doing. But, yeah. At any rate, that storm is coming in strong. Well, trying to think of the other things that I could talk to you about, son, but honestly, it's just, I know you're not going to understand what I'm telling you. Who knows? You may see this in the way in the future. I don't know if your mom ever shows it to you, or if I end up showing it to you. But as of right now, you're not going to understand a word I'm telling you. And I already know that. It's kind of like my people at work. You know, some of them don't understand. I mean, I know some of them can understand what I'm telling them, and some of them, they may not, and that's okay. And I know some of them can't respond back, and that's okay too. So, that's something that I'll teach you too, son. There's all kinds of people in the world, and no matter what kind of people they are people, and you should respect people. There's differences amongst people. There's men and women. There's different races of people. Different skin colors, ethnicities, and stuff like that. There's different gender identities of people. There's different sexual orientations and stuff like that. Some of them I don't even know. Like I'm pretty open-minded. I'll teach you to be open-minded about those kind of things. But some of those I don't even know about. And I'm not saying they're not valid. I just don't know. Jesus. I just don't know about them. So, bug, get out of here. Try to teach you all that I can teach you. One thing I do want to get to you, son, and hopefully that you'll inherit, because both me and your mom like reading. And so I'm hoping that you'll get a love of reading as well. I'm going to get you some books, get you some children's books, kind of teach you how to read, teach your letters and numbers and colors and shapes, and maybe I can even get you to learn another language, get some basic understanding of, like, Chinese or something. Because Chinese might be important in the future. You never know. Chinese or Spanish, because, we have, Hispanic people in Hispanic countries to the south of us that, they speak Spanish. So, it might be important for you to know. Try to learn about different types of cultures and stuff like that as well. And that's something that I'll have to go with you over as well. It's like, I'm not going to force you to do anything, son. I will. I'll force you to behave, It's not like I'm not going to discipline you because, I got to do that. Because you got to know better and learn better. But, as far as, like, culture goes and stuff, and you're free to decide that. Or hell, even if you end up gay, I'll still love you. You're still my son. I'm still your dad. That's not going to change anything. Your business, when you get old enough, is your business. And so, I'm not going to hate you or disown you for that, like, unfortunately, how some people would. Because I'm still going to love you no matter what. And that's probably another big important lesson I'm going to have you learn is that, your mom and I are going to love you no matter what. And there's not really too many things that you can do to make us stop loving you. It's going to happen. And it's going to be a heck of an adventure, 18 years of being a kid, and then, having you be an adult. Hell, hold on. I'm 28 years old. So, about 20 years, I'll be 48. I'll be 46 years old. Or 47. I don't know. Somewhere around there. I'll be in my late 40s by the time that you become an adult. And that's a crazy thing to think about. I'll be almost in my 50s. I'll be an old man. I'll be applying for AARP or something. If AARP still exists in 20 years from now. It's crazy to think about. It's like, hell, I've only lived for 28 years. So that's almost half of my lifetime. It's crazy. Actually, it's over half my lifetime. It's crazy to think about, like what your world's going to look like compared to mine. I guess we can take it from your grandma and grandpa's perspective. I was born in the year 1992. May 22nd, 1992. That's your old man's birthday. And your mom, or your grandmom, she was about 19 when she had me. And Grandpa Bodie is about 6 years older, so he would have been about 25. So he was a little bit younger than me whenever he had me. But that's okay. 1992, the world is a lot different back then than it is now. It's completely different. You would never have thought. I would have never have thought whenever I was a kid, when I was a little kid, that we would have anything close to smartphones. We had maybe wireless, we had like normal corded phones, which you would have no idea what the hell that is. Corded phones, and then we had wireless phones, and then we had cell phones, and then after that we had smartphones. And it's just like, dude, it's like, little kid me could never have imagined, like, what smartphones would be like. Hell, little kid me couldn't even understand, like, 3D printing. The closest thing I could imagine of that would be, like, Star Trek and materializing things, which hopefully you'll get my love of sci-fi as well. So, like, you being born in 2020, the world is a lot different now in 2020 than it is back whenever I was a kid in the 90s. So then you'll be born in 2020, you'll live through the 2020s as a kid, and in 2030 you'll be 10 years old. And I can imagine that by 2030, the world's still going to be a completely different place. Things I can imagine would be like having self-driving cars to be more prevalent. People could have like personalized airplanes, although I don't know how the hell the FAA would would evolve in order to figure that one out. You could have some kind of major discovery and have discover how matter and energy interact. And you can create matter from energy or create matter into energy. Or cold fusion or something like that. That's a big one. That would be a huge scientific discovery if we ever discovered cold fusion. That would solve all of our energy crises if we did it right. And a whole bunch of other things I can't even begin. And that's the stuff that I could possibly imagine. There's all kinds of crap that I can't even begin to imagine that you would have to deal with. We could have like AI. AI would be more prevalent. It'd be more sentient, more sapiens. And then we'd have to figure out whether the hell if robots are people or people are robots, or if robots have rights, do machines have rights? All kinds of crazy. That sounds like a great sci-fi book, and I'm sure that plenty of people have already written it. But yeah, I just can't possibly imagine, like, what the world for you will be like. Or hell, even whenever I'm older, I'll be in my late 40s by the time whenever you're an adult. What kind of jobs you'll have. Hopefully by then, some things that will happen. Hopefully we'll have universal health care. I hope, please God, have universal health care by the time I get to be an old man. I'm gonna need it. Or having things like, pot being legal. Would I smoke pot? No. But, it doesn't mean that, like, it should be illegal. I mean, it helps some people. It has medical benefits. And I'm sure probably by the time you get to be an adult, it'll be legalized in all 50 states. I'm fairly certain. Some other things, that goes back to, kind of the forcing you to do things. I'm not going to force you to have any kind of political ideology. I have my political ideology. And maybe you might, decide to like my political ideology. Or maybe you won't. And I'd be fine with that. You could have whatever different, kind of political ideology you want. It's your life, son. You can, when you figure that stuff out, you can decide that for yourself. I'll try to lead by example, but it's ultimately at the end of the day, whenever you become an adult, I can't have you I can't decide that stuff for you. That's something that you will have to figure out, not me. I can help you out. I can give you suggestions. I'll always be here to give you a helping hand. But ultimately, a decision's up to you. And Tiny better get it out of that bassinet, because that is for Ryan, not for Tiny. Get out of there. Oh, you want to sit in the chair now? Steal my chair. You little turd bucket. Come here. Down we go. Okay. Tiny thinks she's funny. Yeah. Hi, Tiny. Yeah. Are you gonna say hi to Ryan? Did you say hi to Ryan? Yeah. Yeah, you're adorable. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen Stormy around. Normally, Stormy is kind of up around this at this time and bugging me and wanting my attention. Excuse me. I guess she's asleep. Yeah, hi. I'm just talking to Ryan. He's gonna be here in about 3 months, and you're gonna have to get used to him. And you're not gonna like it. You're gonna be scared and probably hiding from him as he gets older and figures out how to move. But yeah. Yeah, and you're just gonna sit here and be adorable right now, aren't you? Yeah. Hi, Tiny. Let's see. Some things I hope you don't inherit, son, will be my pickiness. I don't like certain foods. There's a lot of foods I don't like, and it's based on texture. You know. I want you to try new things, son. That's super important. You know, for growing up and for being a person, is to try new things, so that way you can learn. And I'm just messing with Tiny right now. Hi, Tiny. So that way you can learn about different things in the world. You know, different types of food, different types of culture, different types of thoughts. I mean, who knows if you're gonna like books or not? I hope you do. I would hope you would, because an education's important. And I'm not talking about going to school, because you'll eventually have to go to school and you'll eventually have to sit there and learn from teachers and blah blah blah. You know, I didn't like. I mean, I was good at school, but I didn't like school that much. But I understand that having the ability to learn is important. Regardless of what it is that you're learning. You know, just and you don't have to be smart. People are smart in different ways. That's something that you'll learn too. I was book smart, always had been, but I'm not really people smart. That's kind of more your mom's thing. Your mom's more people smart, even though your mom's kind of more antisocial than I am. You know. But, yeah, I'm not really people smart. I'm more book smart. And hopefully, you'll learn some of that as you go along. You know. And then, eventually you'll get to be about, a teenager, and then you'll want to know about girls, or boys, I guess, if you're into boys. But I'm just going to presume for now that you're into girls, unless if I know otherwise. And, and girls are an interesting thing. There's nothing, girls are people, son. That's the important thing I'm trying to mention and make my point of. Is that there's no trick to getting a girlfriend. There's no anything to it. You just have to be yourself. You gotta have the courage to do it. And then you also have to have the courage to, to handle rejection. That's just a part of life, unfortunately. And it's gonna suck a lot, but it's a part of life. And learn that no means no. In any situation. Somebody tells you they don't want to do something, you respect that. And no means no. Um, then you'll eventually, learn about like, the birds and the bees and stuff. Because I don't know when and if Hillary will ever, or I will ever show you this video. But I won't go into that, just in case if I decide to show it to you when you're real young, and then you're not supposed to know that stuff yet. That stuff you'll find out when you're older. And you'll be like, what are you talking about? And you'll be like, well, you won't find out till you're older, so nice try. But it's a lot of things about life, and eventually you'll learn about it. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. I'm gonna try and get off that topic now. What else can I talk about? I don't know. Like I said, I know you won't understand anything I'm telling you whenever you're a baby, so it's just all about making the sounds. So it's whatever at this point. Tiny's being adorable right now. I don't know. I know you can't see Tiny on the video. Not that you can see the video at this point. You heard Tiny a couple times though. Maybe you might hear her, have her be adorable. Maybe you've heard Stormy or any of the other cats whenever they're laying on mom and or your mom, and they're purring and stuff, and you might notice that. That's something that you might get used to. That's something I just thought about just now, but it's entirely possible. You never know. Who knows what you're thinking whenever you're in that womb there, son, and you won't remember it. That's just the fact of life there, because you're still developing, you're still forming and slowly becoming a person. And oh, pardon me, let me get my alarm. Tiny, I know, I'm sorry, I have to let you down though. Gotta turn that alarm off. Oh boy, it's 11 o'clock already. Ugh. No idea how long this video is. Oh, there we go. It's been 47 minutes already. Wow, that's a long time. You know what, son? I think I'll go ahead and stop there. I know I will think of more things to talk about, I promise. But, as for now, it's kind of an overview of life and different things about what I think and whatnot. But, I love you, son. I always will. And I can't wait for you to be born, to be into the world, for me to hold you in my hands and your tiny little self being all cute and adorable and laughing and crying and playing. And as much as I don't look forward to you pooping and everything, I'll, pooping and burping and spitting up everywhere and blowing out blowing out your diaper and all that. Oh, well, son, unfortunately, I deal with that a lot at work, so at least you weigh about 200 pounds less than they do, so that will be big plus. But anyway, son, I love you, and I love your mom, because your mom is my wife, obviously. But anyway, I love you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll try to make more of these so that we can hear the different sounds of my voice, so that we can get used to it. And hopefully your mom's having you listen to this. I'm gonna give her these headphones tomorrow, so hopefully she's listening to it. And honey, if you hear this, could you get me an icy? I'm kind of in the mood for an icy. Either from like Taco Bell or get it from Casey's or something. Anyway, I love you. I love you too, Ryan. Very much. Bye.